Welcome to the Critic Show on Creativity in You, and I'm your host, Uche Teresa Izuko. Today's guest comes to us from Abuja, Nigeria, author of the CEO workbook subtitled Cracking the Codes for Becoming an Accomplished CEO, a coach, speaker, and trainer of the John Maxwell team. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Emiola Adetunji Mustapha to the show. Emiola, you are welcome to the show.
Congratulations on your new book. We're happy to be part of your story today. And I can't wait to hear all the juicy stuff you have to tell us here today. Welcome.
Well, thank you.
Thank you. All right, so tell us, everything about creativity is you. You are able to crack that code of leadership within the CEO framework. How has creativity helped to guide you towards a deeper level in embracing your passion and goals?
Okay, yeah, I think I'll just start by telling you my story. I was born into an entrepreneurial family and raised by entrepreneurial parents. And all my life, I have worked with entrepreneurs. I have been consulting for entrepreneurs, and I am one myself. And one important thing about the concept of entrepreneurship is the fact that many of us are actually the founders of our businesses, and also we work as the CEO of those businesses. So all through my years working with, for the entrepreneurs and working as an entrepreneur and as CEO, I watch this set of people depressed. I watch them happy. I watch them do well. I watch them fail. And as I was working with these people, working with them and working as an entrepreneur and as a CEO myself, I started thinking, how can I help this set of people? And it started with a program. So we started the CEO hangout here in Abuja, and we do that every quarter. Once every 3 months, we have a gathering of CEOs come together to be motivated, to network, to collaborate. And there's one very particular aspect of the hangout that is so important to me, and that is the business review. So we come together, we review what we've done for the past 3 months, what we can do better and all of that. Okay, so then we unwind. So we dance and we do all of that. So every quarter, we just do that. And that was the beginning for me. And one of the CEO hangouts was coming, and I was actually thinking of how can I add more value to these people? How can I give more? I wanted to give more. I wanted them to do better. And I was just looking for a way to do more. So I started putting these things coming up in my head together. And I started putting them together. When I put them together, I discovered that I had so much to share with the CEOs. And I'm like, okay, I can actually package these things together as a book. So I put everything together for that particular CEO hangout, and I called it the CEO workbook. So I put it together, and I'm like, okay, I'll just put it together as a book, then sell at the CEO hangout. And that was what I did. And that was how the CEO workbook came into existence. The goal was to bring this book out on my birthday, this last birthday, and I wanted it on Amazon. And I was able to achieve the goal anyway. So thank you so much.
Wonderful. You know what? Now I know where you got all your inspiration and motivation from. Being a CEO yourself kind of open that door, open opportunities to your creative imaginations that brought that book to life. And it's amazing. It's amazing to hear that you're passionate about something, and you set goals on how to achieve it, and the opportunity came, and boom, you took it. It's great. That's amazing. Thank you so much for sharing all that with us today. Thank you.
Thank you.
You're able to guide your thoughts towards writing. Your book clearly explains how CEOs can adapt to best practices. How has this unique skills helped you as an individual?
Best practices, when we talk about best practices, it means something that people must have done. they have practiced it. That is just what it is, best practices. Some people, they practice that particular thing and it has worked for them. Okay, so for individuals, I see that as habits. So let's look at best practices. If it's for businesses, we say best practices. So for individuals, I see it as habits. Habits that people have and it's actually working for them. So for me, some of the habits that I saw in people or that I observed in people or that people talked about, for example, waking up very early in the morning, then goal setting. That is a skill, then a habit that you keep doing, you keep repeating, and maybe it's working.
Yeah.
For example, the 5 a.m. club was well put together by Robin Sharma, and it's working for so many people, and it has worked for me. So it's one habit or best practice that has worked for me so well. So I wake up very early in the morning to review my book. So I write, I review in the morning, or I just read through what I have done. So it's one best practice that has helped me. Then another one is setting goals and looking at my goals every morning, reviewing the goals every day, see the goals before I go to bed every evening. That is another habit that I can say is a best practice that I have used that has also worked for me so well. Okay, so these are things that I have done over time and they've worked for me. And honestly, I recommend them to people. And also, I want to say that best practices are what they are, best practices. So you've got to do them. You shouldn't just hear them from other people, talk about them and say, this is what I have been doing for my business. This is what I have been doing that has been working, and just hear them and leave them there. You should practice them, because that was what I did. I heard those people and I started practicing what they said worked for them.
You know what? Honestly, you appear to be so organized. I don't know if one can be as organized as you are right now.
Thank you.
It's amazing. And, I could feel your energy. Go set it, do it, best practice, do this, do that.
Thank you. Wow.
Oh, that is so good. Thank you. Thank you so much for sharing all that with us. And I'm pretty sure that there are lots of CEOs out there right now, like, okay, who is this girl? Yeah, you're good. You're good at it. It's amazing. You're passionate. You're creative.
Thank you.
You're beautiful. It's amazing what you've done here.
Thank you.
We're still on the show Critical by Fastside Production, and this is our call out session on creativity and you. And today, we do have a special guest. Emiola is our special guest today. For more videos like this, don't forget to subscribe. Emiola, you're still welcome to the show. Welcome.
I stumbled upon your words. Most of the time, we get distracted because we work in the business more than we work on the business. How has all this helped to give you that formidable strength and nurtured your creative capabilities and desires?
Working on the business and working in the business is one concept that I talked about so much in the CEO workbook. And it is because it's something that I experienced trying to build my business from ground up. I actually run another business outside my consulting business, and at times it's very difficult to stay on track. At times we're just distracted by the day-to-day running of the business, and you forget to keep the big picture in view or in focus.
That's right.
For example, let me even use the CEO workbook as an example. When I started working on the book, I set a goal and I wanted to bring the book out on my birthday, and not just bring the book out on my birthday. I actually wanted the book on Amazon. And I told myself that book will be ready and it will be available for people to buy on Amazon on my birthday. So we started working on that. So we had a lot to do, from editing the book to proofreading to actually putting it together as something that would be easy for people to read and all of that. So I started working on all of these things. And before long, I discovered that I was losing focus on, I wanted this book on Amazon because I was so engrossed in working on all of these things that we had to do. And most of the time, that is what happens to our businesses. We work in the business. Most of us CEOs, most of the time we still have to work in the business because maybe the business is not big enough to afford us the luxury of just sitting to work on the business. So we have to keep working in the business. At the same time, we want to keep the big picture. So in the CEO workbook, I just encourage people to be able to stay focused on the big picture, though not very easy. If you have been in business, you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, now that's the experts talking. Yeah, that's amazing. It's really easy to get distracted. Like you said earlier, from the things happening around you, you need to catch up on everything happening around you. It's very easy to get distracted. And for the fact that you're able to, in the middle of all that chaos, tell yourself, okay, you know what? I get to remain focused. I have to be for this business. I have to be in this business. And that will instantly help you to, turn back and go do what you need to do to ensure that your business is successful, which is good. Not a lot of people have that, time to, or have that thoughts to turn things around just by saying, okay, I have to be in this business. I have to be for this business. And it's something, it's a unique skill. It's special, and it's something that is actually worth exploring. Not just for CEOs now, even for our daily lives in what we do, we need to actually have that moment to stop and refocus and ask ourselves questions. Are we doing the right thing? How much time have I put into this business? The business is not going to run itself, right? You actually need to run it. So
yes,
you have to, that's where time management comes in. You have to be able to manage your time in order to run that business effectively. So you know what? You're the expert here. I'm just learning from you. I'm just I'm just coming into what you're saying right now. And it's so practical in my head right now. And I believe that we can actually make personal changes in our lives after listening to you speak or read your book. It's amazing. Thank you so much for sharing all that with us.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
The CEO workbook is perceived to be a valuable tool for CEOs. It gives them a sense of accountability and best practice. The book is not just an information manual, but a workbook. Can you tell us a bit more about your adventurous escapade with the book?
I like to emphasize the fact that the book is not an information manual. And while working on the book, I struggled so much because I read a lot. I go for trainings a lot. And I had so much information to give. But I told myself that I was not going to do that because any information you need on any subject matter at all is just a click away on Google. So I told myself, I said, no, I'm not going to do this. So it was a struggle. I wrote the book, I think about 5 times. I'll write it and I'll be like, no, this is not what I want to, this is not what I want to do. I don't just want to inform people. I just don't want people, something that people will just read and dump it, just like we usually do with every other book.
Yeah.
I wanted something that when you have it, it's going to trigger a desire in you to take action and keep taking action. So the book was written that way. So I want you to start thinking. And as you are thinking, I want you to take action. Like when you go through that module, you're going to see a section that I said, write a note to yourself. And when you're writing that note, you're supposed to point out the things that you should be doing going forward and many other things. So the book was deliberately written in such a way that you should be taking action as you're going through the book. So it's not just an information manual. It is a workbook that should trigger a desire to take action in you.
I just caught something you said now. You said, I want you to start thinking. And while you're thinking, I want you to take action. I love that. You should keep it. You should hold it. It's it is
Yeah.
very unique. I just love the caption. Oh my goodness. You know what? It's magical. It is.
Thank you.
Oh, wonderful. That is so good. Thank you so much for sharing all that with us today. Thank you.
We're still on the show Critical of Fast Production, and this is our call out session on creativity and you. And today we do have a special guest. Our special guest today is Emiola. Emiola, you're still welcome to the show. For more videos like this, don't forget to subscribe.
How do you feel about where you are right now in terms of what you have achieved creatively? What are your next big steps? Where are all of these taking you to? Where do you see yourself excelling into from here?
Maybe the next big thing for me would be that every entrepreneur have access to the book, to the workbook, and they should use it to make their businesses thrive, to scale the business, to run the business better. That should be the next big thing for me. I want to see every entrepreneur, every CEO become an accomplished CEO. That has been my desire, and I think that is it for me. And maybe before I just conclude on that, let me say this. When I started the CEO Hangout, and at a point I was actually thinking, is this impacting anyone? Am I really making any difference and all of that? Even if I'm able to make a difference to only one CEO per time, it is just enough. So I want every CEO to have that book, to work with it, to use it to better their business so that they can stay employed. That is number one for me. And maybe employ one or two other people, which will make the world a better place for all of us. So that is the next big thing for me, for entrepreneurs and CEOs to use the book and become better and grow the business. Thank you.
Fire up, girl. Fire up. Just you're all fired up right now. And
Thank you.
all that you are bringing to the table here will not only make CEOs passionate about what they do and employ more people, also make them valuable to the society, because I believe that we all have different unique skills that makes us special in our own different ways. And if we're able to come together and use what we have, we will be able to make and develop a really good, stable economy and society. And then people in the community can also benefit from what we're doing and benefit from what we have. And it's really good because you never know, someone out there might just be inspired, to read your book and become a CEO tomorrow. It happens, and it's magical. It's special, and you within yourself will feel really fulfilled and satisfied that you are helping someone out there, or you have helped someone out there to be their own boss, to be a CEO. That is amazing. Thank you.
We're still on the show Critical of Fast Production, and this is our call out session on creativity and you. And today we do have a special guest. Emiola is our special guest today. For more videos like this, don't forget to subscribe. Emiola, you're still welcome to the show. Welcome. I'm sure a lot of people out there are eager to know more about what you do. How can we reach out to you for collaborations or partnerships? We're all interested in getting to know you more.
I work with CEOs. Those are the people I'm really passionate about, that I love to work with. And one thing I like to do with them is to help them organize their business. Okay, so I coach, I train, and I consult, then I speak. If you need to maybe speak to your team on, and I major on goal setting. I like people to have a good mindset about life generally. So I train on all of that. Then business startup and business management. I train, I consult, then I coach. So we can connect on my Facebook page at Emiola Adetunji Mustapha, and on my Instagram page also at Emiola Adetunji Mustapha. Then if you want us to do have like a kind of collaboration on the book, the CEO workbook, because I have a training coming up, and the training is going to be on Udemy and on my online platform as well. I developed a training with the CEO workbook just to reach out more and make it more understandable and all of that. Okay, so we can collaborate on that book, on that training. So I can bring the training to your team, I can bring the training to your own audience, and we can do that together. And I can bring the training to your team so we can work on that together. And if you want the book to be printed in your country and you want us to work together on that, then I am open to working with anyone on that also.
You're a busy girl.
Thank you.
That's all I can say. You're busy. I don't have anything else to say here. It just my goodness. Oh wow. That is amazing. Thank you. Thank you so much for sharing all these beautiful insights with us. Thank you for coming to the show, and congratulations on the new book. I know it's never easy writing a book. You know, is one thing to write a book, is another thing to put the book into production. You know, you have to do the proofreading, the editing, you have to, all those, you know, manuscripts flying here and there, you have to put everything together, you have to trim it, you have to, it's chaos. I tell you, it's like, I don't know, but you have gone through all that puddle and you have come out with a workbook, a job, you know, something useful, something the CEOs can read and better their entrepreneur spirit and provide value to the people, to the society. It is amazing. Thank you so much for coming to the show. Thank you for sharing all these beautiful insights with us. Thank you, Emiola.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.